Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here topic, dealing with, basically Jacob's trouble and the things that's coming, this way. We bring out lessons dealing with Jacob's trouble and giving out the warning and so on and so forth. But I just want to touch in on the point that really, Jacob's trouble is for the 2/3 of our nation. So, as far as, you coming into this here truth and you serving the Lord in truth and sincerity, doing what's required of you. All right. And we all know that, the elect has been chosen from the foundations of the earth. All right. And you just, like the scriptures say, make your calling and election sure. All right. We understand that that's there. But nevertheless, this is also a thing of faith. How do I say? We're the hopeful elect, like the scriptures say. We hoping that we're gonna get saved. That's the faith that we have. That's why we're doing this here work. Because none of us have actually seen what seat number we're gonna be in on a chariot. Just spiritually saying it like that. But you know what I'm saying. We ain't never seen our so-called seat number on a chariot. Okay, you gonna be sitting here. You're gonna be sitting here, so on and so forth. So we're in this thing with faith. And we also fear the Most High, and yeah, we fear the things that could happen unto us. Hey, like the Lord could take the spirit away from us, the day before all this here shit break out, you know what I'm saying? And hey, we gonna have to, go through it. But nevertheless, as far as how do I put it? The men that's serving the Lord in truth and sincerity, to the best of their ability, these are things that you shouldn't be fearful of, going, oh, how am I gonna survive in Jacob's trouble and so on and so forth, and I'm panicking about this and I'm panicking about that, and how things are gonna go. I remember, when I was first waking up to this, I was kind of feeling like that. Like, I had faith that the Lord, the Lord has provided a way out. I knew that, you know what I'm saying? And there was things that you could do, you know, carnally saying, besides serving the Lord, you was chosen from the beginning. But nevertheless, I knew at that point in time, is when I was real young into the truth, like, well, there's something that you can do, to increase your chances of being saved. But nevertheless, even at that point in time, and I also knew that the elect would have to go through this here. Basically, they would have to go through Jacob's trouble as well, too. But nevertheless, and I thought that, I was thinking at the same point in time that, and during Jacob's trouble, even if you are of the elect going through this here Jacob's trouble, you're still gonna, be going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying? And I look at a lot of the small things around me and try not to take these things for granted. Like, for instance, ever since I was a young child, as far as like breathing, just my nose be stopped up a lot and everything like that, as far as like, especially if I'm in a room or something like that where there's really no air circulating or anything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to sleep at night, you know what I'm saying, without a fan or AC, because that's just how I am. I've been like that since I was a little kid. I used to have nosebleeds and things like that a lot, in the middle of the night. But nevertheless, I remember certain times, as I got older and started coming into the truth, and like during the hurricanes and the power goes out, and things like that. You may be out of power overnight and things like this, and you realize, like, damn, man, it's all hot and stuff. I can't even sleep. I'm tossing and turning, just rubbing my nose, trying to breathe and so on and so forth. I can't even get to sleep. And so, hey, you learn to appreciate the small things, the water, how Bashim Yahushua, I got an AC, I can sleep under the night. But then thinking forward into the Jacob's trouble, like, yo, man, oh, this shit ain't gonna be here like this. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be in a scenario like that. You may not be. You just don't know. But these small little things that we take for granted. The comforts that we have now. I was looking at those things like, oh man, this is gonna be rough, even if you are of those people. And of course, the Lord's still gonna bring you through certain things. But you have to have faith. And end all be all. As a prime example or visualization of this is the movie The Book of Eli. All right, Denzel Washington had to go through a lot of little different calamities and shit like this, but nevertheless, he wasn't necessarily, he wasn't really afflicted. Like, for instance, I make this statement like that, like, he was shot in that movie. They wound up shooting him in the movie, but in a sense, you know what I'm saying, like, he was shot, but it didn't want to kill him, more or less to say. He was still being brought through, but he kept his faith all the way through. That's what the moral of that movie was about. So you may be going through certain things, you may have to spend a couple nights where you may not eat or whatever, whatnot, but ultimately you're going to wind up getting some food, ultimately the Lord's gonna wind up taking care of you. You know, these things may come upon you temporarily, but ultimately these things are not. These things weren't made for you. All right, if you're of the elect, you know. So you know, I want to preface that not to say that you know, every day is gonna be like you already in the kingdom of heaven going through this. Nah, man, you might be terrified because of they just running through your apartment building or whatever, whatnot, putting people down and taking them into the concentration camps or whatever, whatnot, And hell, you might be brought into a concentration camp, You might even be brought to a guillotine. Some brothers may, like the scripture said, they're going to be beheaded for this testimony truth. But what if you're not one of those brothers, right? And, you may be taken into like a Guantanamo Bay type situation. All right. They may be doing certain things to you or whatever, whatnot. But the Lord is sustaining you to where, hey, that's not really, you don't really feel no pain or nothing like that, and then eventually they let you go. Like I believe it was Peter that was locked up. He was locked up in jail, but hey, the Lord sent an angel and broke him out of jail. But he might have been in jail, going through certain things and situations in there. But at the end all be all, he was delivered. All right, so ultimately this here, Jacob's trouble is not for the elect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run through the scriptures real quick to kind of highlight these things. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble." This is the point I want to get at. This should be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. All right, so it's gonna be the worst time ever. Out of all the atrocities that's ever happened on the planet Earth, you can combine them all into one, and it's still gonna be worse than all of that. Slavery, World War I, World War II, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? You can combine them all together. It's gonna be way worse than all of that. But nevertheless, it says, "And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." All right. So it says, "And at that time, thy people." All right. So who is the Lord's people? First and foremost, it's Israel. All right, the Israelites. But there's a Israel of Israel, the elect, all right, because 2/3 are going to be cut off and die. And this is what Jacob's trouble is all about, all right? So it says, "And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book," all right? So now let's go over to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. We're going to start at verse 5, touching back on the same scenario, all right? It says, "For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace." All right, so look, it's gonna be harsh out there, man. It's gonna be horrible. All right, there's gonna be a lot of crazy things going on or whatever, whatnot. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turned to paleness." All right, why do you hear like all these military men or these big, Ray from up the block who be knocking everybody out, or Debo up the block that be knocking everybody out? These hardcore, so on and so forth. But now all of a sudden they all screaming like women that's in labor pains, Why do I hear these sounds, Because why? You going through, well, let me keep reading. It says, verse 7, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." Like we just read, there's going to be a time of trouble, such as there was never since there was a nation, even to the same time. All right. So it says, "For alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it." All right. There's no other time like this. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. What is that going into? All right, that's talking about the 2/3 of Israel that's going to be cut off and die. All right, it says, "But he shall be saved out of it." Now, who's going to be saved up out of it? All right, let me just go ahead and grab that real quick. This is Amos. Oh, Salak. This is not what I wanted to grab. Zechariah. Salakia. This is Zechariah chapter 13 and 8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." All right. And if you know about a regular pie chart, 2/3. All right. You got 2 out of 3. All right. Which is your percentage wise 66.6%, which if you know about percentages, 50% of 100 is half. So more than half of our people going to wind up being cut off and die. All right. 2/3 of our people going to wind up being cut off and die. All right. So this is why we was just reading. All right, it's going to be a time of trouble. It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, right? What part of Jacob is going to be in trouble at this point in time? It says, Zechariah 13 and 8, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh 2 parts." Now, let me go back. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land," all right, which is talking about the Israelites, all right, "saith Yahweh 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." All right, so the 1/3, all right, that's where we talk about, the 144,000 and the 1/3, right? Verse 9, "And I will bring the third part, or the 1/3, through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. And they shall call my name, and I will hear them and say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh is my power. All right. And ultimately, the 1/3 in the 144,000, Salakia, the 1/3 in the 144,000 is pretty much going through, especially at 144,000, the men that's out there on the highways and the byways prophesying, man, they already going through their hell right now, man. You know what I'm saying? They gotta that's why the scriptures say make your body a living sacrifice, because of the fact of you're gonna be like we just read right here. It says, let me read it again, Zechariah 13:9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. All right. So like if you're trying to, I can't think of the term of what they call it off the top of my head right now, but nevertheless, let's say you have a piece of jewelry, right? Or, you got a coin or some shit, right? Now this coin or this jewelry is like, is gold overlaid of another metal, matter of fact, jewelry. Because like with gold, the majority of anything that you got gold is like more or less is another metal on the inside and gold on the outside, because gold is like really, really soft, and they don't really use solid gold for jewelry because it easily bends up, because it's really soft. But nevertheless, let's say you're trying to separate the gold from that other metal. All right, what you would do is you basically put it inside of a furnace. All right, and you'll basically melt it down. All right, and then they call what they call the dross. All right, or the how do I put this? You got the good product versus the bad product. The good product in this sense is the gold. You just want pure gold. The bad product is whatever is being cut with. You cutting this gold with something else so you can make it a little harder. So it'll have its dexterity when you make a jewelry out of it. Don't just bend up. But nevertheless, you're trying to remove that from the gold. All right. So now the gold is going to be, pretty much at the bottom, and all the dross or the byproducts or whatever else that you want to take out is going to float to the top, and you can remove that up off the top, just like, hey, hell, and a lot of cooking and stuff like that. You have things like that happens, when you cooking as well, too. But nevertheless, going through that situation, that's talking about right now, man. We're making our bodies a living sacrifice. We're in a growing process, man. You have to cut off the old man and let the old man die. So for the 1/3, the elect, all right, they're going through that process right now, man. All right, so like ultimately, let me see. Let me go ahead. Let me grab that real quick, just to make that point as well too. This is Isaiah 65:12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. All right. Now this is talking to the Israelites. All right. Really, this is talking to the 2/3 of the Israelites. It's not talking to the elect, 144,000. But this is only talking to the Israelites. All right. But nevertheless, this is talking about the 2/3 of the Israelites. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. All right. And this is how you know it's to the Israelites. It says, because when I called, all right, the Lord didn't call anybody but the children of Israel. All right. It says, because when I called, you did not answer. And who didn't answer the call, man? All right. It's basically the 2/3, man. All right. Because why? They don't want to serve the Lord. This is the separation between us, man. All right. The Lord, like you can read this in what is that? Second Esdras. All right, where it's talking about when they had the liberty to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, they forsook the Lord's law. All right, but they just went on and did whatever they wanted to go do. The same is gonna have to learn after death by pain. All right, because when the Lord called you, you didn't, you got the men of the Lord on the highways and the byways. We didn't took over all of YouTube to the point that they about to like completely gut YouTube. Because why? We have then infiltrated that and flooded the damn airways with this here word. All right, but what our people are still talking about, prophesying to us smooth things, tell us lies, don't tell us the truth. That's what 2/3 of our people are saying to us right now, or saying to the Lord ultimately. Because that's, the Lord is using us as vessels to speak this, but it's ultimately his word, all right? Like you can read that in Ezekiel chapter 3. Give them warning from me. Hear the words in my mouth and give them warning from me. We not warning you from what the fuck we finna do. We not saying, look, bro, if you don't stop eating pork, I'm gonna put your ass to death. We not saying no shit like that. We saying, look, if you don't come back to the law, statutes, commandments, you gonna have to deal with the Most High. He gonna put your ass to death. All right, we not out here bringing down judgment on none of you people. All right, but nevertheless, the Most High is gonna ultimately do this, man. So he's the one that's calling you. All right, he's got his men of the Lord. Hey, well, shit. All through the Spirit, I actually pulled this a little earlier, and I didn't even mean to pull this, but this is Amos 3:7. it says, surely Yahweh power will do nothing but revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. All right. So look, the Lord is using the men of the Lord, all right, to reveal his secrets unto what? Ultimately, all of Israel. All right. Because like it says, many are called, but few are chosen. All right. All of Israel was called to repentance. All right. But like the scriptures say, the Lord is long suffering, that none should perish, but they should come back, roughly paraphrasing, come back, to repentance. They should basically seek repentance, and these Christians believe that the Lord's waiting for everybody on the planet Earth to bow down to Jesus. No, that's talking about the Israelites, man. That's the time frame that we in now, man. Especially since like 2007, when the apostles went on YouTube and stuff like that, man. That was when those gateways was opened up, man. All right, so that was the time when the Lord was like, all right, this is the ultimate calling card now, man. All right, because beforehand, you had, dealing with, the chain of events that happened that brought us to where we at now, going, back up to like Abba Bibbins and the One West and so on, those situations, that was the foundations of things. But what? Ultimately, the doors was wide open at this point in time, man. All right, because, you had the things that happened with those schools, and then you had the separations. And this is where you get all these other camps from, like the ISUPKs, the IUICs, and so on and so forth, But nevertheless, now, you have all the brothers that's out here teaching all the, the men of the Lord. With pretty much every brother in every camp's got their own personal channel, putting up their own personal videos, This is all happening at this point in time, man. All right, so look, the Lord is now calling, all right, the Israelites unto repentance, all right? But what? 2/3 ain't gonna, they're not gonna hearken. All right, let's just get back to that, because that's where we was at in Isaiah 65 and 11, 12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you did not answer, and when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. So look, when the Lord called you, told you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, you know what I'm saying? Stop getting edged up, stop eating pork, grow your beard out. What'd you say? Nah, I'm gonna keep eating this pork, man. I'm about to go get me a bacon burger wrapped in bacon. You know what I'm saying? Bacon wrapped bacon, man. Got bacon bits with bacon wrapped around it, or bacon wrapped around some bacon bits and shit like that, man. And I'm about to go get my edge up real quick, and shave my beard off, you know what I'm saying? I got to keep doing this, you know what I'm saying? Or so on and so forth, So you choose to do that instead, Oh, man, I don't want to be out on the highways and the byways wearing that little, that goofy looking towel y'all got on or whatever, whatnot. I can't be doing all that, man. My job might see me or whatever, whatnot. All right, so look, the Lord called you. You didn't even want to answer the phone, man. All right, so look, in Jacob's trouble, when you're going to be calling on Jesus and God, all right, the Lord is like, look, bro, you got the wrong phone number, cuz I don't know who the fuck you trying to call, but you definitely got the wrong phone number, man. All right. So it says, Isaiah 65 and 12, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, all right, called out to the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you the children of Israel, come back to the law, statutes, commandments. We out there week in and week out talking about this, man. We all got signs and telling you about it and everything, man. Throughout the weeks, we putting up videos and so on and so forth. But 2/3 of our people, they don't want to come back, man. All right, and the only people that you see that's hearkening to this here word is ultimately 1/3 of Israel, 1/3 of Israel. All right, with the 144,000. All right, so it says verse let's keep going. Verse 13, because this is going into what I'm talking about, man. All right, 2/3. Jacob's trouble is really slated for 2/3, man. All right, so this is Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right, so this is talking about what? This is talking about Israel. All right, all of Israel pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is making that distinction, going back into what we was reading in the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 11, 12, and 13. 11 and 12, right? But nevertheless, this is going into that separation, all right? You got the whole house of Israel, but it's going to be divided up. You're going to have 2/3 and 1/3 of Israel, all right? So it says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servants, the 1/3 and the 144,000, shall eat. But you, the 2/3, shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, and you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed, all right? And ultimately, the other nations are going to be going through some shit too, especially Esau. But this is not talking about them, all right? Because why? First of all, it's nothing that they could do to catch salvation anyway. It's not like the Lord is calling these goddamn heathens, oh, we're going to save some Moabites because, I put out the call and the decree to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and some goddamn Moabites, like real Moabites, not Israelites that look like Moabites, but real Moabites, the so-called Chinese man decided he wanted to keep the law, statutes, commandments, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about an Israelite that look like a so-called Chinese man. I'm talking about a real Moabite. You know what I'm saying? Just because he want to do all this and so on and so forth, he's still not going to get saved, man. All right? He's not going to be delivered from this here judgment, man. This is talking about Israel, all right? This is going into the divide between 2/3 and the 1/3, man. All right? This is what they're, like the scripture say, they're going to have to learn after death by pain, man. And this is what Jacob's trouble is allotted for, man, because this whole time, man, the Lord has got his servants out here revealing his secrets unto you people. All right. But what? You don't want to hearken. The Lord is calling you, but you don't want to hear it, man. All right. So look, you out there eating, drinking, marrying, and giving into marriage right now. But wait. In that time when these things are popping off, man, you're going to, so like, you're going to want to be all right, man. All right. Like, shit, we had a brother down in Bolivia, you know. Homeboy shooting a video outside of his house, like literally just looking out the window, man. And there's a military conflict, you know, with the protests and uprisings and shit going on right outside the window, man. Right outside his window, man. And they just running, you know, going down the street. You can see them with their guns and shit popping off and everything, man. Smoke in the background and some shit going on, man. But what? The brother's inside the house filming this shit, edifying with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, he good. The people on the outside of that house is the ones that's going through the shit, man. All right? And out there is predominantly all Jake, man. All right. Verse, or let me go back. It says, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right. 1/3 is going to be all right. We're going to be laughing at your calamities when your calamities come to pass. Let me grab that as well. What is that? Psalms, what is that? Psalms 2 and 8, not 2 and 4. This is Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh shall have them in derision. All right, so how is the Most High going to laugh, man? All right, he going to be using his prophets. He going to put the spirit on his prophets to be able to see all this shit, man. All right, the Lord is going to have this shit cold, man. Just think about it, because you got these, we're not going to talk about it. You got Esau that's actually doomsday prepping and shit too, but you got simple-ass Jake that's out there doomsday prepping as well too, man. I seen this video. There's one dude who gave up damn near everything to go live in one of these goddamn old bombshell bunkers or whatever, whatnot, you know, and living off the land. He's like, who's going to protect you in this here time? You got to take care of your own family, whatever, whatnot. But he thinking carnally, man. All right, trying to stack up some little bit of food and trying to live off the grid or whatever, whatnot, man. But ultimately, at this here point in time, man, you did all that stacking up or trying to save your own self, prolong your own life. He that seeks to save his life shall lose it, man. All right, but he that is willing to give up his life for this here truth, you know, you got to let that old man go. The same shall save his life, man. Because why? Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time, man. All right. You're going to be indulged into these scriptures, man, storing up heavenly gifts, man, instead of these carnal gifts. But at the same time, you got 2/3 of our people, not to say all the whole 2/3 is out there doomsday prepping, but amongst the 2/3, you got our people that's out there doomsday prepping, man. So, hey, man, they think that, yeah, y'all niggas is dumb, man. Y'all need to be stocking up on some guns, some water, some food, and a bunker, goddammit. And y'all over here talking about how martial law coming and all this shit coming and economy finna collapse. Y'all niggas ain't getting shit. But then in that day, man, look, you over there storing up all this here food, man, and the Lord might have it to where, you know, the shit might pop off, like in the movie Bird Box, man. All of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, man, everything just went haywire, man. So you could be in the middle of the Walmart, in the checkout line, you could be in a doctor's appointment, you could be at work, you could be in the middle, not to say, you know, you Israelites is in the truth, but, you know, 2/3, you could be in church, you know what I'm saying? You could be doing whatever you're doing, man. And you can't get back to your so-called bunker or whatever, whatnot, man. Or you know, you might be, you know, somewhere on foot, somewhere far off. You might be, your job might have sent you somewhere to work out of town or whatever, whatnot. Now you can't get back to your bunker where all your food is at, man. And so now the cities are all quarantined off. You know, like the scripture said, man shall desire to go into a city, but shall not, because of why? Basically, they're gonna be cut off, man, quarantined off, man. So look, you over here stocking up all these provisions, all right, for basically Judgment Day. Oh yeah, this gonna be my arm to save me. You know, I'm gonna bring myself salvation with my own arm. Yet the Most High gonna laugh at your ass, all right. And ultimately, the men of the Lord gonna be laughing, because why? Just like in the movie, not Training Day, the Book of Eli, right? Now, the Lord was over there directing. You know, this is the visualization, but the Lord is directing the elect, just like in the movie, the Book of Eli. Homeboy was blind the whole goddamn time, man, but he's following after way, you know. Is a representation of him walking by faith, man. Walking by what the Lord say, man. And then that's how we gonna be, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be thinking about this and that, or what we gonna do and have this here plan or whatever. What our plan, we got a plan. We actually do got a plan, man. We got a couple plans. Our plan is what? We enacting one of the plans right now, man. All right, by serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That we may be able to save ourselves and those of our household and those that hear us, man. All right. But nevertheless, we say that by giving you these things to build you up, you know, first and foremost, the name of the Most High and His Son. So when you're out there trying to call on the name of the Lord, you ain't out there calling on God and Jesus and then be trying to figure out why, you know, ain't nothing really happening for your ass, man. All right. But nevertheless, you know, like going back to the Book of Eli situation, we're going to be walking out there doing whatever, whatnot, trying to get from point A to point B. You know, like I just said, you know, like in the movie Bird Box, even the elect may be at work, you know what I'm saying, out of town somewhere, could be anywhere, you know, can't get back to your house or whatever, whatnot, may not even be around your car or whatever. It's like you can't get from point A to point B. So you know, when shit pop off, you just got to go with the shit that you got on your back, man. And you got to just walk it out from there, man. That's just what it's going to be, man. But the men of the Lord are going to be led by faith. And guess what? You know, the Lord, you know, ultimately, like we just read, let me read this one more time and I'll go back. It says, Psalms 2 and 4 says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. And the point I'm trying to make is the Lord's going to be laughing through his servants, all right? So let me go back to Isaiah 65 to give you the idea. Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servants shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, and you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right? The Lord's servants are going to be rejoicing. Why? And they're going to be laughing at your calamities and shit. Why? Because, see, this, you know, like the Rothschilds and shit like that. Well, hey, we ultimately know them motherfuckers, like the scripture said, they're going to hide themselves in the rocks, man. But these, we going to bond their kings with the chains and fetters of iron, man. So, like, putting the scriptures together, man, hey, man, the elect gonna basically roll up on them and they did damn doomsday bunkers and shit, wherever they at. You know, they got them stockpiled with everything nice, a whole bunch of aged wine and shit like that, man. Guess what, man? When the Lord deliver the men of the Lord into the hands of these goddamn, these Rothschilds and these elites into the hands of the men of the Lord, when they just pop up on their damn ass, all right, and they're like, damn. Or you might just roll up on an empty damn bunker that's just full of food and wine and shit like that, man. But they can't get to where they got, you know, well, the kings, these elites, they're going to actually be in there. But we're going to take their ass out of there and put their ass in this captivity, man. They think they're going to sustain themselves in that. But nevertheless, you may have 2/3 of Israel that's also doing the same thing with their bunkers and may not be able to get there. But the men of the Lord may just roll the fuck up on that damn bunker. Like, oh, shit, here go a bunker full of food, man. We're going to just sit here for a while and just eat this shit. And then when this shit's gone, we're going to just go back on foot, man. You know what I'm saying? And go wherever the Lord lead us. He might lead us to a whole nother bunker, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, and it might be a bunker of a person that you knew in the world, another Israelite in the world, all right, who called you a fool. And, oh, nigga, you dumb, man. I'm about to doomsday prep, about to give me some guns. And, you know, it's all about guns and butter, man. We got to eat and we got to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's how these people are thinking, man. So they was, shit, you dumb, man. I got my bunker. I got my food. Shit, don't try to come knocking on my bunker when the shit hit the fan. B, we not going to have to knock on your bunker, man. The Lord going to have your ass out there scattered somewhere. We're going to just roll up on your shit and be like, remember that nigga from the world that was laughing at us talking about how dumb we are and how fucked up we are? Your ass worked all them overtime hours to buy up all this food just so we could eat the shit, man. You ain't even get to enjoy your shit, man. You bought all this shit for us, the people you was laughing and scoffing at, man. You know what I'm saying? So look, this is how the Lord's going to be laughing through his men, because this is going to come into the minds of the men of the Lord, man, when they over here eating, like, damn, these motherfuckers probably worked their whole life off to get all this here food. They're probably stacking this shit up for their family and shit, thinking they're going to make it a longevity. Just imagine what you're going to find in some of these motherfuckers' bunkers, man. Go on YouTube and look at, what they call, panic rooms. Look at what these Edomites have, these goddamn hidden panic rooms, man. They got the little center island bar in the middle of the goddamn kitchen, and that shit opened up to a little small panic room up under that shit. It's a little small ass little spot, and there's nothing but guns and shit up in there, guns and ammo and shit, man. They got another one full of like food and shit. They got we call them shits like hydroponics and shit growing under the ground and shit and all kind of crazy shit, man. You're like, oh, you motherfuckers got the shit over there good and everything, but guess what? You lacking faith, man. You lacking that spirit. Well, first of all, y'all Edomites, you ain't gonna make it, but for our people that's doing that, man, hey, you gonna wind up losing out on all that, man. And this is all going to be for the elect, man, especially the ones you laughing and scoffing. They're calling them, you know, stupid or whatever, whatnot. This is why the men of the Lord going to be laughing at this shit, man. If you're going to be back there rejoicing, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, you know, we'll be over there rejoicing and shit and laughing at your stupid ass. Like, look at these stupid ass niggas, man. They did all this working and laboring and calling us fools and shit like that when we was actually making a real spiritual investment, man. Y'all was investing into our future, man, while we was also investing into the kingdom of heaven, man. You know what I'm saying? So it says, verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart. All right, and also we're going to be laughing and rejoicing, man. All right, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit, man. Just put that in your mind, man. You working all these extra hours, man. You may have a game plan. It was like, I got my full-time job to pay off my bills. Then I'm going to go get this little part-time job, and I'm going to work 7 days a week, and then I'm going to Uber at night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to take all that income, and I'm going to invest into my doomsday prep, man. I got this new bunker. I'm buying all this here food. I'm buying all these here guns or whatever, whatnot, and all these rounds or whatever, whatnot. And I'm going to go get this here bunker, man. And you spending all your time and your energy and effort into that, man. And then ultimately, in the end all be all, man, you wind up, again, you being trapped somewhere else, man. Your job sent you out of town to go to some training or to go work out of town for a week or two. And in that week or two, all hell broke loose, man. All right. And now you trying to, oh, fuck, man. I'm stuck out here. I'm starving to fucking death. That's the worst feeling in the world. Be, you know, a worse situation to be in. You over here starving to death, or a gang of people coming up and you can't defend yourself because you ain't got no weapon to defend yourself, right? I'm saying all this with this in mind, that you got a bunker full of guns, bunker full of bullets, a bunker full of food, a bunker full of water, but your ass over here dying of dehydration. Your ass is dying of starvation. Your ass and got ran through because a pack of motherfuckers, not even a pack, 2 motherfuckers that rode up on your ass. 1 motherfucker rode up on you with a gun and you ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? You think the only thing you can think of in your mind is, damn, bro, I got a goddamn bunker full of guns. I got a bunker full of bullets. I got a bunker full of food and a bunker full of water. But you can't get to it, man. The last thing you think about, damn, I done did all that work and got put to death. And now look, the minute of the Lord gonna roll up on that shit, man, and be sustained with it, man. All right? Let me read verse 15. All right, let me go back. It says, verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, man. That's going to be a fucked up thought process in your mind, man. Somebody roll up on your ass with one little small ass pistol or some shit, or a knife or some shit, man. You like, damn, man, I got a motherfucking AR, a goddamn AK with an extendo clip with a drum, 100-round drum. I got bulletproof vests and shit, man. I got these hollow points and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I got all this USDA prime steak, man. I got this Kobe beef and shit, man. And all this shit finna goddamn, I'm about to die right now, man. Fuck. You gonna be vexing your spirit, man, because all that work that you did was for naught, man. And it was worse is you didn't even die defending your goddamn bunker. You didn't die inside your bunker after eating, 2 years of your food supply. You done ran out of food after 2 years and you just died, because, but hey, I didn't lived it up in my 2 years. At least it's, I weathered out as long as I could in the storm, man. Nah, hell nah. You're not even gonna get to enjoy that shit, man. That shit's gonna be gone ASAP, man. All right? But let me read verse 15, reiterating this, all right? Going back to the 2/3 and the 1/3, man. This Jacob's trouble and these calamities is gonna be coming down on 2/3 of Israel. 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans about to get this shit horribly fucked up. You about to get fucked up horribly, all right? Verse 15, and you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for Yahweh power shall slay thee and call his servants by another name. All right. So look, man, all that stuff that you over here stockpiling and everything like that, man, you gonna want, let me go back up again. Verse Isaiah 65:13, just to hone back in on the same point that this whole thing's talking about, man. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servants, the 1/3 of Israel, the elect, 144,000, shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right. Doing all this here work with you and your family. Yeah, we got this doomsday, whatever, whatnot. It's all good, babe. We're safe. Everything is all good or whatever, whatnot, Just like in the movie The Purge, I think it was the one with, I think Ethan Hawke was in there, the dude from Training Day. That alarm system or whatever, whatnot, everything was all, they was locked down. He was the dude that was selling the alarms or whatever, whatnot, Number one salesman, he was like, nah, ain't nobody getting up in our house. But guess what? His simple ass son let a motherfucker in the house, man, and open the door. All hell started breaking loose, man. Now you vexed with spirit, man. I didn't spend all this money in this protection, this system, everything like that. I got everything all hooked up. We secure in the house. We got the bunker and everything. But all of a sudden, your simple ass son didn't open the damn door, make all you have obsolete, man. All right? It's going to be the same way when you got all this here food and everything stocked up, 2/3 of Israel. Well, out of the 2/3 of Israel, you got some of them that's just ignoring this, and they don't give a fuck. They're living day by day, whatever, doing whatever. Oh, we going to live on forever, man. As long as I got my food stamps, we going to be good. But then you got some Jake that think they so-called woke, doomsday prepping and shit, right? But not spiritually doomsday prepping. They carnally doomsday prepping, man. All right? But and in that day, man, they going to wind up leaving all this into who? The elect, man. All right? So let me go from there to this is Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, all right? And this is talking about the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Jerusalem is basically talking about Israel, but Israel is a people before it's a place, All right, because ultimately that place was called the land of Canaan beforehand. When we moved over there, that was where the Israelites lived, the land of Israel. All right, but nevertheless, we are people before a place. It says, and Yahweh said, go unto him, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Now, who will be sighing and crying for all the abominations? All this wickedness is going on, man. You know, prime example, draw a line in the sand right here. The men of the Lord is out here vexed and sighing and crying about these goddamn women that's out of order, walking around halfway naked and shit, and the best thing that they can offer is that they can twerk, make that ass clap. You know, that's what they prize themselves in. I can make my ass clap on a handstand. I can pop that thing on a handstand and shit. You know, that's the best that they say that they got to offer, you know? But see, you have 2/3 of our people like, yeah, that's the shit, man. But what? The elect, the 144,000 in the elect, you know, the 1/3, you know, you have the men of the Lord out here preaching how this is a walking abominations walking through the goddamn midst of the city of our people, man. There's not supposed to be any whores amongst the daughters of Israel, you know? So we gonna say something about that, right? But 2/3 of our people, they don't give a fuck. They're like, shit, man. Hey, Shawty, let me slide up in that DM right quick, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, there's that line being drawn. So it says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So at that end all be all, you got the 1/3, the 144,000, all right, that's out here preaching and prophesying about these things. And what you got the 1/3 is hearkening into this, man. It's like, you know what, that is right. You know, they are going off with this and that, man. All right, so now let's go to this here word mark. All right. Going back into what? Jacob's trouble is for 2/3 of Israel. What the hell? Okay, so look. This is this Blue Letter Bible app. Okay. We might have to do a video on this. December 6th. All right. Hey, all through the spirit. This is the same damn day the YouTube is going down, man. You see what I mean, man? Hey, man, we at the end all be all, man. All right, let me grab a precept real quick, man. Let me grab a precept on that ass. Where's that? Luke, what is it? Luke, is it 21? Or is it 10? Luke 10. Well, I guess I'll just read it all the way through. Luke 10 and 21. In that hour, Yahweh shall rejoice in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and the prudent and has revealed them unto babes. All right. So 2/3 of our people, they think they know it all, man. They think that, oh, man, I know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, I know I'm an Israelite and still walking by eating pork, going to go get their shit lined up, man. Yeah, I knew about this from back in the, come on, man. 2/3 of our people, that's ultimately what's wrong with you. You can't tell these motherfuckers shit, man. All right. But what's the difference? Why does it say, it has revealed them unto babes? All right, because a damn baby don't know shit, man. A baby is like a sponge. He's soaking up everything around him. He's learning. He's being built up in that process. A baby don't come out saying, I know every goddamn thing. You can't teach me how to fucking walk. I know how to walk. You can't teach me how to talk. I know how to talk already. The baby don't do none of that. The baby's learning how to do every damn thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I got a little 2-year-old little nephew. Sometimes when he don't know something, he be like, what's that? What's that? You might tell him something. What's that? What? He's curious, all right? He don't sit there, I know what I'm talking about. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's like a babe, you know? So let's just put it this way. The elect was basically in the 2/3 state of mind before they woke up, right? But in the process of them waking up, they had to humble themselves down and realizing, I'll just use myself for an example, right? Coming in, before I came into this truth, well, there's a lot of different things. Well, we'll talk about the pork, right? Pork, lining yourself up, cutting your beard and things like that, right? Like, well, we kind of did know that you weren't supposed to do all that, but nevertheless, you know what I'm talking about. Like certain things you didn't know about, right? But nevertheless, or you thought that, okay, for instance, one man should marry one woman, right? That's how we was all taught here in America, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, one man should have one wife. You know what I'm saying? If a man got another woman, he cheating. But when you come into this here truth, all right, you used to tell somebody about that, whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, nah, bro, I know what I'm talking about. You can't tell me shit. One man's supposed to have one woman, man. God ain't with that. Well, then when you break down in the scriptures, if you was going to humble yourself like a babe, all right, and you able to learn something, to soak something up, you would read in the scriptures like, all right, well, the Lord's people is who? The Israelites, right? How did the Israelites become? All right, how the fuck did they get born? All right, they was born from a man named Jacob, all right, whose name was changed to Israel, all right, and his descendants would be the Israelites, right? Jacob planted his seed into 4 different women. He had 2 wives, Rachel and Leah, all right? Because, you have to read back up on the story. Basically, he wanted one, and then the father basically tricked him into, making him work even more longer. He took the eldest first, but he wanted the younger daughter. You know what I'm saying? So he made him work a little bit longer. So he got he wanted with 2 different wives. These 2 wives, they also had handmaidens, basically female servants. But nevertheless, Jacob wound up getting these children from all 4 of these here women. All right. So how are you gonna say that God ain't with that? But what his chosen people come out of 4 different people, man, 4 different women, man. Look at Solomon, who, it might go over a lot of people's heads, but Solomon, who was Yahweh Shah in the 4 carnation, all right, he had 1,000 women, man. He had what was it? I think he had 300 wives and 700 concubines, or vice versa, 700 wives and 300 concubines. I think it was 300 wives, 700 concubines. But nevertheless, he had 1,000 women, man. All right, but nevertheless, and him having 1,000 women wasn't him going off, man. Where he went off was when he started making these goddamn idols for his concubines and shit, with these other nations and shit like that. But nevertheless, so continuing on, you know what I'm saying, and saying that going into the babes, because why? The elect, they're gonna humble themselves down. Oh, I don't know everything, because 2/3 they so proud they know every fucking thing. You can't tell them shit. All right, verse 22. All things are delivered unto me of my father. Matter of fact, let me just get to the point, because this is kind of a side note. Verse 23. And he turned to his disciples and said privately, blessed are the eyes which see the things you see. For I tell you, many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. The point is, I want to get blessed are the eyes which see the things you see. Now, as I was going back into this here scripture in Ezekiel chapter 9, it might pop back up. Let me go back. There was this here message that popped up. All right, there it is again. Due to interrupted service maintenance between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. All right, on Friday, December 6th, online services will be unavailable. All right, this is now the spiritual eye. That's the same day that they're going to start making these changes to the YouTube, man. All right, so what kind of changes are they going to be making to the Blue Letter Bible? Because look at the video you're watching now. A lot of our videos, this is how you see them now, where you got the scriptures in the background. And, we like to use this here Blue Letter Bible because of the fact that we can go into things like this and see what these words are going into. You know what I'm saying? So, and get these definitions. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? And it brings out a lot of edification. All right. But what? Esau want the famine of the word to come through. So, again, blessed are the eyes will see these things, measuring the time diligently, man. Looking in the spiritual realm, man. We at the end all be all of these things, man. All right. But nevertheless, hey, again, going back into the topic we on, 2/3, they're not going to hearken to this, man. All these signs is everywhere, man. The writing is on the wall. 2/3 ain't going to hearken into this, man. They going to wind up dying. This is why, because the Lord said, when I call, you ain't answer, man. I'm calling. I done blew up your line. I done filled up your goddamn voicemails to where it say voicemail full, man. I'm calling your line so much that the goddamn telephone company cut off your goddamn phone line because you just fucking up the goddamn, the phone line ways because you just putting too many calls through there at the same time, man. All right. So, we was trying to get to this here word Mark, all right, in the book of Ezekiel chapter 9 and 4, where it says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, so this here word will be tawa. All right, obviously this is a different, they're not using the real Hebrew because, there's no V. But nevertheless, it says, desire a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. All right. So, nevertheless, the elect are going to be sealed, all right? They're going to wind up, what we was just reading, man. You're going to be hungry, all right? But the Lord's servants are going to eat. You're going to be thirsty, but they're going to wind up having drink, man. You're going to be vexed and be sorrowful, but they're going to be rejoicing, man. All right? So, look, this is what's going to be going on. You got the elect that's going to be sealed from this here judgment, man. Jacob's trouble is not going to be for the 144,000 in the 1/3, man. Yet you may see some things. You may go through some things, man. You may go through not eating for a couple of days, but ultimately it's the Lord, hey, you're supposed to be building up in the faith, man. Have faith in the Lord, man. All right, so let me, let me keep going. Ezekiel 9 and 5. Well, let me go back to 4. And Ezekiel 9 and 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right. This is the men of the Lord that when the Lord called, they answered that calling, man. They stood up on their feet and they started prophesying. That was that exceedingly great army, all right? Verse 5, and to the others, he said in my hearing, all right, because this is talking about all the Israelites, all right? to the 2/3, because the 1/3 gonna be brought through the fire, which is right now. All right. But the 2/3, all right, it says, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have any pity. What is that going to? Jacob's trouble, a time like never before since there was a nation, even into the same time. Verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maid. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So, especially when this judgment come down, hey, Jake, you're going to get the judgment first, all right? This judgment starting with you Israelites first and foremost, man, before Esau really get his ass taxed, man, because that's the end all be all, man. All right, that's gonna, you know, his fall is in all be all, man. But this is what we're reading right now. Jacob's trouble is when Esau's gonna be allowed to put you niggas down, man. He gonna be that's that sword being used for the last time, man. That's what it's gonna be used on. All right, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but 1/3 and the 144,000, they gonna have this here mark. What is this here mark, man? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is gonna be the stability of that time, man. All right, with all that get understanding. Blessed is he that readeth, man. All right, so these are the things that you should be spiritually doomsday prepping with. All right, let me just grab it for edification's sake real quick. The book of Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. All right, so look, stack. This is your spiritual investment, man. This is your spiritual stocking of the food, man. Stocking up on these scriptures, man. Whenever you kind of down and out and you seeing certain things that's going on or whatever, whatnot, oh man, how we gonna wind up eating, man? Well, don't you remember the Lord? I believe was it Jeremiah, or Elijah. One might not have been Jeremiah. It might have been Elijah. That was fed by the birds, you know. You also had well, shit, all the Israelites really with Moses, you know, in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? They was out there in the damn desert and shit, all dehydrated and shit. You know what I'm saying? But what? The Lord wanted bringing forth water through the damn rocks, man. All right? And that's a spiritual thing. Also, he fed them with the manna, man. All right, from heaven. So you may be going through certain things, all right, but you have to do what? Have faith that the Lord's going to deliver you through these things. So again, you may be, you know what I'm saying? You may be on a long walk, a long journey. You know what I'm saying? And you just walking for days on end, maybe 2-3 days on end. You walking, man. You starving and shit, all thirsty and shit. He's just like, damn, man, this sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? But what ultimately you have to have faith, man. You know, hey, you might see somebody offering out some pork chops or whatever. Hey, fuck the pork chops, man. I'd rather just starve to death than fucking go against what the Most High's will is, especially at this point in time, man. As soon as you deny that plate of pork, man, you roll up onto a goddamn a bunker or some shit, right? Full of all lawful foods and things that you can eat, man. So now hey, fuck, we got a vacation bunker, man. These elites got some badass bunkers, man. They got some shit that you don't even know that you underground and none of that shit. You think you in a fucking 10-star hotel or some goddamn presidential suite hotel, man. All right, but nevertheless, 2/3 are gonna wind up being cut off and die, but the elect gonna wind up making it, man. All right, this here judgment is gonna be cast down on 2/3 of Israel, man. Because why? In the time of Jacob's trouble, they don't have anything to sustain them, man. They don't have this, hey, the bread of life, man. All right, they don't have these living waters flowing through their body, man. They rejected these things like we read in Isaiah 60, 65, and like 12. All right, because when I called, you didn't answer, man. So how can I fucking save your ass, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you getting your ass beat, right? I'm the police, and somebody called the police or whatever. So I'll reach out to you. I'll call you on the telephone. Hey, is everything all right over there? Or I'll pull up. Hey, man, everything all right? We got some reports of some screaming and shit. Sound like somebody was getting killed off in there. Something going on. You like, no, everything's fine. All right, then you pull off. Then your ass go in there and get put back to death, man. You get tortured, man. Well, it's your fault, man, because look, the police came. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm using this as an analogy. Your so-called help came, asked you if you was all right. I called out onto you, but you didn't want to hearken, man. No, everything's fine, man. I'm going to just stick it out on my own right now. And then you go back in there and then you wind up succumbing to your own demise, man. All right? Let me grab one more and we're going to be out. We're going to be out of here. This was a bonus when I came up with, I forgot, it slipped my mind. Oh, Khan. This is Micah 7 and 10. Going back into the point of this judgment is for 2/3 of Israel, all right? Not for the 144,000 in the elect, all right? Now, this is talking about women, right? And the point isn't really here trying to just get on women themselves, but nevertheless, just to show you the point, all right? Because, you know, this 2/3 isn't just, oh, it's all women or it's all men, you know what I'm saying? Now, we don't really talk about the men directly like how the scriptures talk about the women directly, because the majority of all the scriptures encompass the men as well too. Like we talking about Jacob's trouble. Goddamn, it should be a no-brainer. There's gonna be 2/3 of it, of men gonna be cut off and die, man. The Israelites, man. It's ain't no question about that. That should be a given. You know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes like we read in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 5, slay ye utterly maid, child, woman, and so on and so forth. You know, you got to add those in there because some people be like, oh, well, women going to be exempt from this. The baby's going to be exempt. Elderly. Nah, hell nah. Y'all asses getting put to death too. Your grandma in a goddamn wheelchair on the oxygen tank and shit. All overweight, no obese, man. Still eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Smoking cigarettes through the hole in her throat and shit like that. She going to get put to death, man. All right? Ain't no mercy. The Lord say, hey, don't have no pity on these motherfuckers, man. Put them to death, man. Because when I call, they ain't answer, man. All right? So this is going out, I'm going to read this, it's, again, talking about women. But ultimately, you got to think about this is the same thing is going to happen to men and women, all right? But this is just, being written like this because of the fact that these women think that this don't have nothing to do with them. But nevertheless, Micah 7 and 10, then she that is my enemy, or really all you Israelites is the Most High's enemy, like we read in Isaiah 65 and verse 12, all right? Because when I call, you didn't answer, all right? Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which saith unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? My eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. All right. Now we just reading this scripture for what the scriptures say, man. All right. This is a Israelite woman. All right. But guess what? What side of the fence she's on? She's of the 2/3. All right. What do you think is gonna happen if she's in the same boat as the 2/3? What the hell you think is gonna happen, man? These judgments are being brought down upon their ass, man. All right. So going back to where we started at in Daniel chapter 12 and 1, just getting to the point. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince was standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered. The 1/3 and the 144,000 of the children of Israel, all right, is going to be delivered. Everyone that should be found written in the book. Real quick, one precept to find out, because people read that and be like, what do you mean written in the book? But these people are all written in the book, man. This is Revelation chapter 7. Going right back to what we were just reading in Ezekiel 9, all right, about going through the midst of the city, all right, and slay ye utterly. Let me line these precepts back up, man. All right. So we were just reading in the book of Daniel 12, right, talking about a time of trouble, all right, but he's going to be saved up out of it, all right? So let's go to Jeremiah 30, and just to the point, Jeremiah 30 and 7, the last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's, all right, the Israelites, or mainly 2/3 of you Israelites, it says it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, right? So it says he shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved? Not all of Israel, all right? Let's go right back to where we just said in the book of Daniel 12, and I'm going to just get to the point where I wanted to grab. It says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. So we're going to go find the ones that was written in the book. Before that, let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 9, because this all lines up, and this is pretty much, how do I say, the course of how these things are going to go. Ezekiel 9 and 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have you any pity. So the Lord's about to start bringing judgment down on the house of Israel, all right? 2/3. So, oh yeah, those that was written in the book, he shall be saved out of it, everyone that should be found written in the book. So, Revelation 7 and 1, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree. All right, so basically, these are the angels that's coming to bring this here destruction. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. All right, and that's the stage in the time that we in right now, because you can see basically everything is pretty much crumbling, but it's all being held up by that one Jenga block, man. And the whole Jenga tower swinging back and forth, about to fall over. That's where we at right now, but these 4 winds are being held back for what? For the elect to be sealed, man. All right, once the elect are sealed, then everything is going to go, man. All right. So it says, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their forehead, going back to Ezekiel 9 and 4. That's that mark that they was going to be getting. Going to Isaiah 33 and verse 6. Wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of that time. That's what this is talking about. These scriptures, man. Being built up in these scriptures, all right? So verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed. These are the ones that was found written in the book, the ones that was going to be saved, right? And there were sealed 144,000. So there's your 144,000. Where do they come from? Of all the tribes of the children of Israel, all right? And of the tribe of Judah, there was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. You're going to go through all 12 tribes. You got 12,000 of each of these, right? Verse 9, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne of the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, right? So this is talking about the 1/3, right? Now, don't let this be a stumbling block, because it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number. The reason you can't number them, because Israel is on the sand of the sea. We were scattered into the four corners of the earth, right? And we tell you that the Israelites are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But not all Israel still look like that, man, because you got some so-called Negroes that's over there in China, man, that look like a straight Moabite, man, all right? That talk like a Moabite, everything, but his lineage go back to actually being a Israelite, man, all right? So real quick, just get that point. This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 5. And there was dwelling at Jerusalem Jews. So you got these Israelites, right? Devout men out of every nation under heaven. So you have Israelites that was living in all these other nations, right? So now let's see where these Israelites come from. Verse 9, Parthians, Medes, Elamites, and dwellers in Mesopotamia and Judea, Cappadocia, Pontus, Asia, Pargyria, Pamphylia, and Egypt, and parts of Libya and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful works of the Most High. So when they talk about Arabians, are these actually Ishmaelites, you know, these actual Arabs? When they talk about Rome, are they talking about the Edomite Romans? When they talk about Libya, are they talking about these Africans? When they talk about Egypt, are they talking about Africans? No, they talking about Israelites that's living in these lands, and that's basically still living over in these different lands. Because why? Again, we were scattered into the four corners of the earth. We in every single country, state, continent, whatever you want to call it. We is at least one of us in every one of these places, man. So that's why we just read that great multitude out of every nation, out of every tongue. All right, this is what it's talking about. The Israelites that was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. All right, you have some so-called, like you have so-called black people, right? The tribe of Judah that's over in England and shit like that, man. Just because they're not here in America, don't mean that they're not Israelites. You know what I'm saying? No, man, it's the same thing. Same with Africa, man. You know, we actually do have a lot of Israelites that still dwell over there in Africa, man. All right, so you're going, you know, that's where it's talking about out of all nations, kindreds, and tongues that's going to be saved. But nevertheless, you know, I wanted to bring this here out just to hone in on the point that Jacob's trouble is going to be for 2/3 of Israel, all right? Not to say, you know, not to give you a so-called green light, oh, we're going to be straight and walk around with pride. Hey, hey, you better watch out for the Most High. Hey, he can keep the spirit on your ass to the very last minute and take that spirit from you and that hedge from around your ass and run through you, all right? But nevertheless, you know, this is just something to give us, you know, a little bit of a faith booster, you know, so you don't be sitting there dwelling on, oh, man, I got to go through this, I got to go through that, I don't want to, I can't go starving, or I don't want to get put in jail or whatever. No, man, hey, some of these things may happen, but it's not for an ultimate thing, man. We wasn't brought here, the elect wasn't brought here to die here on this here soil, man. You know, you're going to have some martyrs that's going to be beheaded, but ultimately, the elect was raised up in this here time for salvation. You have to keep that in mind, man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.